Statue of Liberty. Hey, the Statue of Liberty is the Statue of Liberty. Or is it? Well, it takes us to this week's case. It involves a case that began in 2011. And then the United States Postal Service decided that it wanted to have a new stamp, a forever stamp, that depicted the Statue of Liberty, and they wanted something that would be a fresh and different kind of look. So they looked through a lot of stock photos, and they came across a photo that they said, this is very nice. And they paid $1,500 for a 3-year non-exclusive right to use the photograph from this particular stock photo company. And they published it, and everything's rolling along, and then up jumps a fellow whose last name is Davison. And Davison said, that isn't the Statue of Liberty. That's a statue that I made. And I made that statue for the casino down in Las Vegas, New York, New York. And the picture that you have on the postal stamp is not the Statue of Liberty, and you have violated my copyright. Postal Service said, wait a second, looks pretty much like the Statue of Liberty to us. He said, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Look at it carefully. You guys wanted something that was new, fresh, and different. You selected this because I wanted to have a statue that, while it suggested the Statue of Liberty, was actually something that was more feminine. I softened the jawline. I made a number of other differences. And I even used my mother-in-law as the model for this particular statue that I made for New York, New York. Therefore, this is not a reproduction of the Statue of Liberty. This is a brand new artwork in which I have the copyright, and you guys violated that copyright by not paying me royalties for the use of that image. Well, Postal Service said, we don't buy that. David sued. It went to the U.S. Court of Claims, which is where you sue the federal government when you have a monetary claim. And there, the case moved forward and eventually went to the judge for a decision. And the arguments were made. Mr. Davison was saying, hey, this is a brand new statute that I made. It's entirely different than the Statue of Liberty. It does suggest the Statue of Liberty, but it isn't a reproduction. Postal Service saying you can't really tell the difference. And we think, therefore, that we did not violate copyright. Judge looked at this and he said, well, you know what, guys? I actually see significant differences. Yes, this man, Mr. Davison, did create a statue that is different than the Statue of Liberty. It's unique, and it is subject to a copyright. You, Postal Service, did not get his permission. You did not pay any royalties to him for the use of it. Therefore, you owe him royalties for the use of that image that you used on these stamps. Okay, but now the big question is, how much do they owe him? So that was a little bit tricky, and the court engaged in a variety of tried and true approaches to trying to determine royalties, and came up with a formula and applied the formula and found that the Postal Service owed to the sculptor $3.5 million. $3.5 million in royalties that they did not pay when they published that stamp and sent it out into the world. Okay, so what do we learn from this case? We learn a couple of things from this case. One is that a copyright does confer to its owner, in this instance, Mr. Davison, the sculptor, rights. Among those rights is the use of that image and any images that are derived from that particular work of art. That when someone proceeds to use it, they owe royalties. If they don't, well then they are going to be deemed to have basically breached the copyright, and a court can come along and order them to then pay royalties. Okay, we bring you this case, we bring you cases every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.